As of today, I have ridden 113 different roller coasters. While many of them that I've experienced are great rides, there are some that stand out above the rest, and there is never a miss in the top 25. And that's exactly what I will be discussing in this video. So before I present to you the 25 best roller coasters I've ever ridden, I'm gonna say a few things. First of all, thank you all so much for 1,000 subscribers. I never expected for this to happen within a year, but it is absolutely unbelievable that I managed to pull it off. That Kong marathon will be underway. Wait, what? Anyways, once again, thank you all so much for all of the support, and I will find something to do in celebration soon. Second, this video will be broken into 2 parts for the sake of time. 15 roller coasters will be discussed in this video, and 10 will be in the other. And finally, everything is my opinion, not fact. There might be some roller coasters on this list that you might not enjoy as much as me, and I do not mean to bias any of your opinions. Also, do you want early access to my content, exclusive content, park meetups, and a shout out in my video description? My Patreon is now live at patreon.com/Coastopia. There's some exciting stuff coming up on that Patreon, and buying it also helps support me and the channel. So once again, if you're interested, make sure to check out patreon.com/Coastopia. So let's get started. Coming in at number 25, we have Full Throttle at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I really enjoyed this ride. As short and simple as it is a very fun ride and a sleeper hit for sure. The first launch is one of the signature elements of the ride. It is super punchy, and those ride ups have no mercy when it comes to trolling. Great hang time on the loop, super smooth. That reverse launch is also pretty fun, and the airtime on the top hat is great. I can't really complain about this ride at all. It's just really fun. Made by the same manufacturer, with a very similar model that for some reason is in the same exact part, is West Coast Racers, coming in at number 24. Personally, I have to give the edge to West Coast Racers. I think it just has more to offer, especially since it's a Mobius loop coaster, which means that there are 2 sides on the ride, with the intent for the trains to duel each other from each side. The initial kick is pretty weak, but after that it starts to accelerate faster. The wave turn that each side has some really good whip and a pop of airtime, and there's that Top Gun stall thingy. Second launch, nothing really special, just gives you enough speed to get through the rest of the layout. And then there's a spaghetti bowl of helixes with gray out inducing forces. And then once you complete the white side, you enter this building next to the station. You stay there for a second, and when the train from the station dispatches, the train in the building advances synchronously, and you get to do it all over again. So for the good layout, getting to do it twice and doing it all while dueling, personally I think it's better than Full Throttle. These trains do have comfort collars, but they don't take much away from the experience for me. Moving on to number 23 is Magnum XL200 at Cedar Point. If you know me, I love Aero with all my heart. I enjoy their rides, even the ones that were designed by Ron Toomer, and for me, Magnum is no exception. The first half is decent. You have that really tall hill that does absolutely nothing. Then there's a speed hill, and then this weird like turnaround. But what really makes this ride is the second half. Those back-to-back triangle hills give you great ejector airtime. You can never go wrong with a good old airtime machine. You'll be seeing a lot of airtime machines in this list, but you'll also be seeing some inversion machines like Fahrenheit at number 22. Fahrenheit is one of the most underrated roller coasters I've ever ridden. It starts off with a vertical lift hill, which is pretty scary. The first drop in the back row gives you a great pop of ejector airtime. The Norwegian loop pulls some great positives. The Cobra roll isn't as shaky as people make it out to be, and it ends with 2 whippy corkscrews and an ejector bunny hop. The pacing of this ride is also immaculate, and it is definitely a great supporting coaster. It'd be really cool to see some other parks get one too. And at number 21, we have Jersey Devil Coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. I don't really need to explain much about this one because it is very similar to my number 20, which is Wonder Woman Flight of Courage at Six Flags Magic Mountain. The rides are very similar, except one is slightly taller and longer. They start off with the exact same first half, but Flight of Courage has a slightly longer second half. Bunny hops, off-axis hills, and wave turns. Also, Flight of Courage runs faster, so Flight of Courage takes the cake. Another coaster by the same manufacturer but a different model is the Joker at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, coming in at number 19. People do say that this is the worst iBox coaster. While I agree with that statement, this ride is nowhere near bad. It has very strong airtime, like any other RMC. It has a long layout. The only thing is that there are some dead spots. Turnarounds really just don't do anything, except, well, turn you around. Back to Six Flags Magic Mountain, we have Tatsu at number 18. Of the 2 B&M flyers that I've ridden, this one is better. This ride is on a mountain, so so you're above the entire park the entire time, and it stands as an icon of the park's entry. The ride has great pacing, and then of course you have the ridiculously intense pretzel loop, the best inversion on any roller coaster. And then there's that final helix over the park's main midway. The rest is just mostly filler inversions and a couple turns, but the pretzel loop, the pacing, and the views more than make up for it. Another ride with excellent pacing is Gold Striker at California's Great America at number 17. This is seriously one of the best wooden roller coasters in the world and the best GCI. The first drop is like no other GCI. You get some amazing floater in the back row. The rest of the ride is a bunch of turns with that special GCI profiling and loads of airtime. When you give yourself some space between you and the lap bar, it's a whole nother world, and you'll definitely appreciate the ride even more. A ride that I will never fail to appreciate is Railblazer at California's Great America, which is my 16th favorite roller coaster. I've been debating if this or Gold Striker was better, but after some time, I realized that Railblazer is just more consistent for me. The airtime is some of the best that you're gonna get in this world. You can always notice it no matter how far down your restraint is, and I think that's the problem with Gold Striker. Railblazer may have a short ride duration, but its pacing is amazing. Like, there's never a dull moment on the ride. The dive loop gives you freaking ejector airtime, unlike a ride like Stunt Pilot, where it's profiled differently. But this ride is the best like 20 seconds of your life. Never walked off this thing and went, oh, that was a bad ride. And the same goes for the rest of this list. And I guess some of these rides have an unfair advantage because I haven't ridden them as much as others, like Cheetah Hunt at Busch Gardens Tampa at number 15. This ride is also another hidden gem. Every launch is amazing because, well, it's intimate. It has some fun moments of floater and ejector airtime. It even has an inversion. This is also a terrain coaster, so in terms of scenery, it is very beautiful. It has a lot of variety. It is supposed to be sort of a family thrill ride, and I think it is a great step up. Coming in at number 14 is Canobie at Hersheypark. This is one of the smaller B&M hypers, but it is a lot of fun. It has great airtime and great pacing, and also a pretty good variety of elements, like the helix into the off-axis hill. That was pretty cool, and I haven't seen that on any other B&M hyper, and it stands out at the park's front entrance. And visually, it is absolutely beautiful. It is also a perfectly smooth ride, but I can't say the same about number 13, which is Nitro at Six Flags Great Adventure. While it does have a slight rattle, it is also a very fun ride. Of course, just like any other B&M hyper, you got your traditional back-to-back camelback hills. The hammerhead turn also does pull some nice positives. Speaking of pulling good positives, wait until you hit the helix. That helix is the hardest I've ever grayed out on a roller coaster. And then there's a few bunny hops for the finale. And now for the battle of the intimate accelerators, starting at number 12, which is the tallest roller coaster in the world, King Dakar at Six Flags Great Adventure. This is a very fun ride. While the launch does have a rattle, it is very fast and forceful. It has also been running really good this year, so it hauls over that top hat, giving some great airtime and views. And then there's a drop with the 270-degree spiral into a gray out inducing pull out and a floater speed hill to end it all off. That was a good ride, but I think Stormrunner at Hersheypark is slightly better. This thing has great pacing, it hauls over the top hat, and that flying snake dive is nuts. Way better than I expected. And throughout the course, there is some great airtime. Next up in the battle of the accelerators at number 10 is, oh, we're out of time. Stay tuned for the next video for my top 10 roller coasters. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in part 2.